What's up, guys? Jason, W Age Revolution. Not in the cave, in the house. The empty house. That's right. Everybody's gone. It's 11:41 a.m. And they're all at a splash park for the day. So I worked a couple of hours I worked I worked 1 hour this morning at 9, and then I just did a phone session with somebody at 10:45 or so, just ended that. And then I go back tonight at 4, 5, and 6. I have 3 people. And that's my day. That's it. So I'm home alone from 11:42 to 4. Whew. And what does a fella do? Well, a fella plays some Fortnite. A fella watches, The Greatest American Hero. And lays out on the couch and just relaxes. But I figured, hey, let's do a video. I'm uploading right now. It should be up in about 20 minutes. My third on the list of most memorable TV moments. This one is actually centered around a particular network, which you will see in about, it's uploading now. I'll take you over to the upload station. This is where all the work gets done. So as you can see right there, it's uploading. It's got 8 minutes to go, according to that. So what I figured I'd do now, break up the channel a little bit and give you something fresh instead of the memorable TV moments. I'm going to show you my, what my children have lovingly called the theater room. And you've heard me mention the theater room. It's not a home theater at all. It's not. We just call it the theater room. And it's our fun room. It's our other living room. We have 2 living rooms. One of them is down there, and this has kind of become, this is actually my bedroom as well, folks. That's where I sleep, and where I entertain myself here with the television. But this is also where the children store all their ridiculous toys that they don't play with. So our living room has turned into toy room / my bedroom. And then we make our way through the rest of the house into the kitchen. And as we come around here, down the hallway, and over here, we've got our other living room, which I call the theater room. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to look at today. But we're going to focus a little bit more on the Friday the 13th collection. I have one whole wall in that room, in that theater room, dedicated to my favorite movie franchise, Friday the 13th. So let's take a look at all of my stuff on my wall. Let's do that now. All right, here we go. We approach the theater room. See right there, it says theater. So don't, and it's on Elm Street, if you didn't know. Don't question it. There's the sign right there. We won't do the whole room. We might do that during a house tour or something. But there's fun stuff. There's like all of our Universal Studios stuff. But I'll show that later. What I wanted to do was I wanted to show this section. The Friday the 13th wall. And yes, I have a Friday the 13th wall in my living room. So the lighting is not that great. But let's take a look at each item. That poster right there, I love. That was at a Comic-Con. Just a random artist did a Jason Freddy kind of mashup there. It's a 16 by 20 poster, and I like it. Now, unfortunately, as much as I say I like it, it's probably going to come down because I'm running out of room on this wall for the 8 by 10 and the autographs. The 8 by 10 meet and greet photos and the autograph. I'm running out of room. And so I've got to kind of remodel this wall, and I might have to take down the non-autograph stuff. So this might have to go somewhere else. All right, right below that is a photo of me last summer at Camp Crystal Lake, Camp Nobi-Skoku, I think it is, in New Jersey, in Blairstown. And I went and toured the campground and took a picture there in front of the Camp Crystal Lake sign. Awesome. That is Lar Park Lincoln from Friday the 13th, Part 7. That is my meet and greet with her. I think it was at Frightmare in the Falls in Niagara Falls. And that is her autograph that she decided to sign sideways for some reason. But Lar Park Lincoln, you know, kind of like, what was she? She had like telekinesis powers or whatever, but Lar Park Lincoln meet and greet, Lar Park Lincoln autograph. Next to that, we have a Friday the 13th poster signed by Ari Lehman, or Lehman, the original Jason. He loves to call himself the original Jason. He simply was the kid that came out of the lake at the end of Part 1. So, you know, he has really worked the whole, you know, Jason 1, you know, the first Jason. Well, whatever, fine. So he signed a 16 by 20 poster, and then I have a photo with him on the other wall I'll show you. Coming down the line, we have my autograph 8 by 10 of Adrienne King, who played Alice in Part 1. She wrote Jason to Jason, then he's still there. Adrienne King, her famous final line from the movie. And there she is. There's the 8 by 10 photo with her and chubby me from back in the day. This was last year, actually. Adrienne King, she was tickling me here. And that's what, that was her gimmick. She would they're just great. You know, these meet and greets with most are just fantastic. And she took many photos with you. And so one, she took a normal photo, and then the next one, she wanted to do like a scare photo. And as she's screaming, she's like cramming her hand into my side and trying to get me to, you know, jump or tickle or whatever. But she was great. Adrienne King was awesome. Next is Lauren Marie Taylor, who played Vicky in Part 2, I think. I'm pretty sure she was in Part 2. Yeah, she was in Part 2. Vicky, in her famous line, she wrote, hey, Jason, what does the winner get? That's when she was playing, I think she was about to arm wrestle the dude in the wheelchair. And she was being all flirty with him. And she said, you know, well, you know, what does the winner get? You know, because she wanted to get on his chair, if you know what I mean. And there she is now, Lauren Marie Taylor, also very sweet, very kind, talkative and friendly. And, you know, I love when they cuddle up to you on the photo like that. That was great. Then we've got Amy Steele from Part 1. She played Ginny. And then whenever I meet the Friday the 13th people and they're like, what's your name? And I'm like, Jason. They're like, really? Well, so she says, Jason, what if there really is a Jason? And then she wrote you in parentheses. I thought that was cool. And there's Amy Steele. And then here she is down here. Also another friendly person. Out of all of these, I think Adrienne King was the best. She was pretty awesome. And then we got Amy Steele. At the same con, it's kind of hiding behind a lamp here. We've got my photo with Warrington Gillette, who was Jason in Part 2 when his, you know, mask came off, and you got to see, you know, Jason before the this is when he had the not the mask, but the burlap bag over his head. Warrington Gillette's another guy that has really held on to the Friday the 13th stardom. He and Ari Lehman, you know, friendly enough guy. He was cool, but man, was he a self-promoter. And his autograph is ridiculously big. And, you know, psychologically, that just means that you want to be, you know, star of the show. You want the spotlight on you. And so you sign your name. As you know, people's autographs and signatures say a little bit about them. And Warrington Gillette's autograph is gigantic, which you'll see in a moment. But fine, you know, nice enough guy. And I'm just crossing everybody off the list that I possibly can. All right, so that's wall number 1. Then we come to the poster. This is the poster project. So I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with the poster. I wanted to get every living person who played Jason. Um, and then it just, and then I added another signature to it. I'll show you in a moment. So I'm not going to get random, campers, camp counselors on this poster. There is still, I did meet Kane Hodder. I'll show you that in a minute. He's not on this poster, so I still have to add him. Unfortunately, Ted White is passed, and there are a couple other guys who. So as far as Jason actors, Kane Hodder is the only one that I think I can get on here. There's another one, Tom Morga, but I don't really see him anywhere anymore. So I'll show you we got Dick Wayland, who was Roy. He signed it with a really crappy marker and then had to go over it. I don't know why. It just, the autograph was horrible. It was faded, and then I asked him to go over it again. We have Harry Manfredini, the composer of the famous music, who has the coolest autograph ever. He actually writes out the music there on his signatures. Beautiful signature. C.J. Graham I've met twice. He's pretty awesome. He wrote 18 Kills. He was Jason in part 6. And then Warrington Gillette dominates the entire poster. I told this story at the con. He asked me if he wanted to, if I wanted him to write a quote famous line from the movie. Do you want? And now cover your children's ears, because I'm going to say bad words. He said, "Do you want me to write something like 'Die bitch die,' or 'Your ass is at the lake'?" And I said, "Oh geez, I was really under the gun, and I guess I agreed to 'Your ass is at the lake.'" And I don't know what he wrote. He wrote, well, "Your ass is at the lake," but ASSES. I don't know what that is. So I don't know what he was trying to say. I don't know if he was trying to say "your ass, I'll see your asses at the lake," or "your ass is at the lake." I don't even know what that means. "Your ass is at the lake." I don't know what that means. So I was like trying to figure out a way to like maybe put a black strip of paper over this so that you didn't see it. And then there's this massive signature, in comparison to, everybody else's respectful signature. He just, boom, dominates the bottom of the poster. So it's like, all right, whatever. Thank you for, he did it, he put red in the, it's nice, but I should have just said "your signature only," and I would have been happy with it. But, yes, I've got Friday the 13th stuff all in my living room, but I don't really need "your asses at the lake." In my living room. But anyway, when I did the Camp Crystal Lake tour, you got to take a Polaroid, and that's a Polaroid next to the Jeep from part 1, a reproduction. But I thought that was pretty awesome that they gave you a Polaroid of your photo. And then this, of course, is from probably the best, one of the best gifts I've ever got. But that's not part of the Friday the 13th, so we'll keep going. This little Friday the 13th thing I got at the Spirit Store. The Spirit Store will put out some Friday the 13th stuff each year, some different stuff. A couple of masks. We've got the Roy mask there with the blue. Then this is also from Spirit Store, just a cool wood plaque of all the masks from the different movies. I thought that was pretty awesome. All right, then moving on, we've got Ted White again, who recently passed. Liam and I. Liam was probably 7 at the time, and that's Liam's knife pose. So he's posing as if he's holding a knife. I love it. Ted White was friendly enough. He was fine. He's got, look, you put your hand on my kid's shoulder and then you're an okay guy. And there's his autograph. I was originally going to have it signed to Liam. And then as he was signing it, I said, "Well, can you do "and Daddy"?" So he said, "Well, that'll cost you more." And I said, "Oh, okay, well, whatever you want." And then he just kind of said, "It's fine." So apparently adding "and Daddy" would have cost old Ted White another $20 or so. I would have had to give him. But there's his autograph. He's an old man. There's nothing special about his autograph. But Ted White, rest in peace, Ted White. Then the man himself, Kane Hodder, also at Frightmare in the Falls a couple of years ago. And that was great. He's a quiet guy, and you take his picture and you move on. And there's his part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. I don't tell people what to do at all when they're signing. I would have loved it if he'd wrote Jason, the Jasons that he played, but he simply wrote Jason, Kane Hodder. Maybe if I get him on the poster, I'll have him, write what Friday the 13th he was in. And then he did an in-costume photo op, and that's amazing. So that is Kane Hodder in the Jason costume, and he is choking me, and he is hurting me. That's my dumb I'm being choked pose. But right about after they took the photo, he didn't stop choking, and it hurt. And I tapped out. I tapped on him, and then walked away, in tears. He choked me. We've got Terry Crews. Oh man, what glare on that. Let's see. There you go. This is an awful glare. Here, let me see if I can just get the glare. There's Terry Crews, who played, Terry Kaiser, who played Dr. Crews in Part 7, New Blood. He was the psychiatrist who brought his patient to a campground to have her face her fears, which, being in the mental health field, that's never going to happen in real life. But he also was Bernie in Weekend at Bernie's. And, obviously I'm collecting for Friday the 13th, but I almost wanted a Weekend at Bernie 8x10 of them too. Again, crappy marker that just, come on. And it's my fault. I got to bring like paint pens or something. But he had a crappy marker. And then there he is. And we're laughing. We're actually legit both laughing because I said, I'm also in the mental health field, and you would lose your license if you took somebody camping, if you took one of your patients camping. And so we're having a good old guffaw about it, if you will. There's a silly little Camp Crystal Lake gimmick from Spirit Store that I'll probably take down, and I'll tell you why in a minute. This cool thing I again found at a Comic-Con, at like an artist booth. It's just this awesome, I don't even know, it's just a silhouette of Jason. They had one of Michael Myers and of Freddy as well, and then behind it, like all these stories are just short horror stories, right? So they're just like, I don't know where they got them from, but they're just short little horror stories. I love that, but I don't want to take it down. But again, I'll tell you why in a minute. There's a Camp Crystal Lake wooden plaque, again from Spirit Store. Love it. I see a lot of people getting this autographed at the cons. A couple more masks. My custom, somebody made me that from the video game. So we got a couple more masks. The C.J. Graham autograph. Great handwriting, great autograph. Love that photo of him underwater. There's our first meet with him, with little Liam, probably about 6 years old there. And he gets, I love when they interact with my kid. And here he's hulking up Liam there and C.J. Graham. And then we met him a couple of years ago at a store in a mall, Heroes Hideout in the mall, and we got another photo with him. I don't know why. Oh, I met him twice because I wanted him to do the poster. So that's why I would not meet somebody twice, but I wanted him to do the poster, and then there was a free photo included. So we met him again. So we got little Liam, and then we've got slightly bigger Liam. I can't for the life of me remember who did this for me, but I love it. It's me. Being chased out of Crystal Lake. Love that a ton. There's Ari Lehman. There he is. He made me do that pose. I also don't like to do goofy, poses with the celebrity, but he was like, come on, man, show some attitude. And he made me do that. And I miss my big arms. I don't have them anymore. But Ari Lehman, Jason 1, or the kid from the last 30 seconds of the movie, if to be exact. There's a few more. So this is why I have to change up that room. We've got this is from the last con. We've got me and Liam and Tom Matthews, Tommy Jarvis, and then we've got the Tommy Jarvis autograph. This is me and Dick Whalen, so that's Roy Jason. And then we've got me and Harry Manfredini, the composer. So those are on the floor right now. Those are tucked away over here because I don't have any room. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to rearrange this. And unfortunately, I'm probably going to have to take down some of the bigger stuff. So like that Jason Freddy mashup might have to go. This little I'm probably gonna put that in the back of my truck, maybe like tuck it in the window, like a license plate thing. And either I don't want to take down the Crystal Lake thing, but I mean that might have to come down because I've got to condense, and I really can. I've got enough room, but unfortunately I only have half the wall because all this stuff is like covering up the wall. So I'm going to condense all of the 8x10s and really just smush them together. And, because I'm not done. I'm not done with, the Friday the 13th collection. So we'll have to figure it out. We'll have to make it work. Because I've got 4 more 8x10s to go up. And then, whoever else I meet along the way, I want room. I was thinking about moving the poster all the way over to here and just kind of putting it tucked in the corner there and then having all this space for the 8x10s. But the poster kind of centers the room. I don't know. We'll figure it out. What I could do is get Ari Lehman on a 8x10 and then just take that poster down. I could do that. He's always at the cons, but I don't know because I'm not done, like I said, and I've got a lot more to go, and I'll probably end up taking down that silhouette. And you gotta leave the Crystal Lake, right? I don't know. So that's the Friday the 13th wall, and as we're sitting here, on the couch, watching the tube, we got Friday the 13th. So whenever anybody comes over, like my kids are homeschooled, and sometimes their mother will host another homeschool family, right? They come over and they're like, oh. Because homeschool kids are the families sometimes are, either like super religious or just super well behaved and normal and healthy, and then they come into my house and they see this wall of horror, and your ass is at the lake, and they're like, oh yeah, we're not gonna let your kids play with our kids. I mean, you're a weirdo. So whatever, but this is my home. This is my, this is my castle. And I'll show you the other stuff someday. We'll do a tour. There's tons of other movie posters. The Children's Mother has a section of her stuff. I've got the movies. I'll do another room tour, and I'll do a full house tour. I'll do a whole house tour. We got toys and stuff because you haven't seen the dining room. I mean, you've seen it in some shots. The kitchen. And then we go, I got a vacuum, as you can see, and then we go into the other, family room, and, this hallway, and there's a bathroom, and then, we've got our upstairs. But anyway, that's the theater room. That's the Friday the 13th collection, and that's it. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. And Magnup PI says hi to Stephen Brown and says we'll be back, and says good night now.